Greetings, and if you are new to this channel, welcome. My name is Wa, and in this video, I am going to be discussing the fabulous topic of dating. Who does that, right? So, that is my music that you hear in the background. So, if you are unfamiliar with my artwork, by all means, you can find it on Apple, iTunes, Spotify, and even on YouTube under Wa Empress, My Infinite. So, back to this wonderfully juicy, fabulous topic of dating. Why I decided to make this video was yesterday evening, a gentleman decided that he wanted to solicit me for communication on a personal as well as intimate level. It can be very flattering to receive compliments from people, especially when one is at a certain stage in their self-work and development. So I'm trying to decide which aspects I'm going to discuss first. I will start with prerequisites for dating. Spiritual dating, elevation dating, not anything regressive. So, how did this come about? So this gentleman was like, can I walk with you and talk with you? I was walking in my neighborhood. And it turns out he lives right around the corner from me, but we've never crossed paths. This happens. So, I was bored. And like, okay, sure. You can talk. So we walked, and I immediately noticed that, he's growing through some challenges, but I'm not judgmental. I allow people to speak to the best of my ability. So I let him talk. And after listening to his life story or bits of it, I gathered enough data to understand that he definitely was not in alignment with me in terms of what he began to get into as the conversation progressed. Because at first he was just talking to me about his life, and that was peace. I mean, we are here on the planet to share kindness with people when we can, to share. Walmart has created a brand new marketplace that's driving millions of. I tried to have my song on repeat on YouTube because I factory reset my device. So, but now I'm not going to do that anymore because it just busts out with a commercial. Yeah, that's not going to work. I'm going to just turn it off now. And the next time that I want to do that, I will do it from another source because commercials about whatever the commercial was about was just an interruption. So, back to this gentleman brother in Watts, South Central LA. And it was a pretty good day. Now, he was like talking about how he just kind of like started going into how he wanted to live life with me because I was a real woman and a queen, and very interesting communication because he even bowed at one point, and I was just like, wow, this is very interesting. He was intoxicated, under the influence of alcohol and I don't know what else, but I could smell. I have a very strong nose. I can smell things I'm not supposed to smell. Because he wasn't, like reeking of alcohol, but I have a very strong nose. So I smelled it. So, anyhow, I just encouraged the brother to heal because as he was discussing his journey, I could tell that he needed healing, as so many of us do. And he was like talking about how he felt so upset anytime that he thought about his family. But other than that, he was a happy person. And I was like, okay. Well, I advised him to stop drinking and smoking, no drinking and no smoking, and just focus on healing. That was the best advice that I could give the brother in the community from a space of love and just, what I know to be true. So he continued on to talk about how he needed me to help him with his elevation and how I was a real woman and I could help him elevate because I'm a real woman. And he even said that I was a man builder. I was like, oh, really? That's interesting. So, a lot of the things that he was saying were very interesting and deep and symbolic. But one thing, we were going in opposite directions. He stopped me and asked me, could he go in my direction? This shit's funny when you actually think about it because he was going in a different direction than me physically and definitely going in a different direction in that space and time spiritually. But then he asked me, could he go in my direction and talk with me about what was bothering him? And then eventually ended up saying that he wanted to go in the same direction as me spiritually. So that's interesting. So, what I want to say about that as an advice offering to those of you that are single and receiving solicitation from the beautiful humans out here in the universe. Basically, what I've learned in my space of working on myself and my inner healing and striving to get into deeper alignment with myself and my elevation is something so important. If the person is not going in the same direction as you, then they're not going in the same direction. They can't just say, okay, wait a minute. Ooh, I want to go that way because you are. In my experience, that was not fruitful for me because the person has to already be going in that direction. They already have to love themselves enough to be working on themselves. They already have to love themselves enough to be practicing healing. The brother said that and this is like the second person to say that to me this year, and we're already 13 days, only 13 days in. That's it. It was another brother, like in the hood. He was like, I'm gonna stop smoking cigarettes when we get together. And I was like, no, we're not getting together. And you need to do that for yourself because you love yourself. Straight up. I mean, everything that somebody does when it comes to self-improvement, self-development, self-growth, healing, it has to be for self. Like, people that say that they're going to do it to be with somebody else, that's not even self-love. So basically what I've witnessed happen with myself and others dealing with those type of characters is that these individuals they like the idea of it. And some of them, they just want the energy so bad that they gonna say anything to get it. Because that's their objective. Like, I want that energy. Like, and it's crazy. Because when somebody's not cultivating their own energy, and I'm talking about high vibrational energy, when they're not cultivating their own high vibrational energy, then they could really be fiending for somebody else's energy because it's on another level. And that within itself is just like, I understand. So I approached him from a very humble space because in my healing, I have come across advanced people that were on another level, and they were just, their energy was just so attractive. And it was on such a high vibration that I was like, oh my gosh, I would love to exchange energy with that person or somebody like that. So I get it totally from a humble and authentic space. However, someone saying that they want to do something to change themselves, to be a better person for somebody else, they got to do that for themselves. They have to really want that for themselves with a relentless desire, an unstoppable fire for themselves. It's just like, it's everything. Because getting together with somebody, speaking from experience, who has not took the time to do that for themselves because they love themselves, they just get to the point, it's so easy. It's hard. It's hard to do the work for somebody else, especially when they haven't done it for themselves. It's hard. So it becomes much easier for them to be like, "Psst, okay. I mean, like, I could just go get me some other pussy." For real though. Like, I can just be in my low vibration. It's easy and I can still get me some pussy. So, like, why am I stressing myself out trying to be, somebody for this person? And then don't let them be delusional, distorted, and crazy, because then they'll just be like, oh, I'm trying to be somebody for this bitch or whatever. And it's like, hold up. Did she ask you to do that? Nah, nigga. You solicited her. Okay, see, I'm about to go. I was going someplace. Calm myself. So, but you feel me though? It's like they have to do that for themselves because they love themselves. They can't just say, oh my goodness, now I just want to be everything that I'm supposed to be because I didn't seen you didn't stepped up on the scene with the goddess lean. I mean, it's so cute, right? But I've gotten to a space in my journey where it doesn't flatter me to the extent where I'm going to budge and do anything that I don't want to do. So, no, he didn't get my number because flattery is basically just somebody's way of trying to get in the door. And I ain't even got no door. Bye. Not for that, So blessings and love. I wished him all the best, and he wished me the best, and everything was peace. He did have a little tantrum at the end, but that's just a part of his journey. But back to this session, I just want to communicate about how important it is to be grounded in yourself. The song that I was listening to before that commercial interrupted, Reflection, I am talking about how there is someone for everyone, but there has to be patience involved in the journey. Meaning, if somebody's working on self and they're getting into alignment with their healing and their elevation and just gardening their beautiful garden that they are, and those flowers is going to be attractive. They're going to be fragrant. But self protecting yourself is self-love, and just allowing someone to come in the garden just because they're giving compliments. No. You can give yourself a compliment. Go look in the mirror and be like, fall in love with your reflection. That's another one of my songs. And I really was feeling that at that space and time. The self-love journey, it will reveal stuff to you. And it's a beautiful thing. But back to the alignment factor. When somebody entertains the energy of someone else who's not in alignment just because, they're flattered or they're bored or they want to entertain somebody, or, you got some real mischievous people out there that want to do stuff for material reasons too. But all of that stuff, it's just like, it's not self-love. And those type of misalignments can be very self-destructive, especially for somebody who's been working on themselves, tending to their garden, loving themselves, feeling good, and doing the work daily to elevate and heal. Just allow some little person in the garden that has not been doing the work so they can go fuck it up. No, it's just like, don't do that to yourself. I've learned the hard way. It can be very karmic and also a setback. It's like cleaning up your room and it's all white and clean and pristine and pretty, and then just going through with like some mud or actually maybe some shit, some feces, and just like putting it everywhere. I know, insanity, ridiculous. But I have to be dramatic because it's super dramatic. The consequences can be very dire, very, traumatizing. To do work on your elevation and then allow somebody to talk their way in because they're like, I really, 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 really want to change. And I can do that for you, with you, because you the goddess, you the one. Okay. So do it then, by yourself. Because they have to be doing that work already. They can't just say, oh my gosh, I want to be in alignment with you right now because I see you. No, go work on yourself, work on your healing. Of course, with the support of community and friends, with the universe, support of the universe, the support of the Most High God. I'm not saying that people have to be like alone and do it by themselves. But what they can't or what they shouldn't be trying to do is impose themselves like into a relationship with somebody else that they're not even ready for, to impose themselves sexually upon somebody when they ain't even ready for that, because there's so much responsibility there. That's what I was talking about earlier. When a nigga get tired of putting in that work and doing all that extra work for that extra super special, then he just like, wait a minute, I can go and just get me some regular stuff and enjoy it just as much without putting in all this effort that I wasn't doing in the first place. So it's very, 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 very important. Brother was nothing. I mean, brother was attractive, I mean, by, standards. I mean, my what I find attractive is virtue and divinity and genius. But when I say the brother was attractive, I just want to state that I could see, that he had a lot of potential. And God is everywhere. God is the unlimited genius, the unlimited beauty. So we can see reflections of God on different levels in everybody. So I want to say that to say that there was nothing wrong with the brother. We're not condemning people. We're just honoring ourselves. We're loving ourselves by saying, no, my brother. And in all peace and love and respect, I'm wishing you unlimited healing and alignment with the goddess that's meant for you, because it will happen. And that's what I told him. I said, if you clean yourself up and get yourself all sparkly and clean, it will happen. You'll meet your wife. Because he was talking about that. And I was like, right on. There was no reason for me to talk about what I want or what I was looking for, because it wasn't necessary. I think that I was just there to listen and hopefully, prayerfully, plant some seeds about what needs to be done to get to, if he's seriously trying to go in that direction with somebody else. Because I am not available, not for anyone that is out of alignment. And that's what I've learned in the self-love journey, is that you have to stay in alignment with yourself. Staying in alignment with yourself means that you only entertain the energy of someone if they are in alignment. And you will know if there's any alignment by the things that this person does, not what they say, but what they do. Doesn't mean that they're perfect, doesn't mean that they're flawless. It doesn't mean that they are just walking perfection. It just means that they are diligent and dedicated to their self-love journey in the same way or similar way as you in action. And they can just come fuck up your shit and pollute it with all their toxicity and drama and karma. No. So that's why it's important to have someone to entertain for dating, potential partnership prospect. There has to be some level of synergy. This person has to be walking, speaking, doing similarly. I know I said speaking in there because that is a part of it too, but actions though, because somebody can't just talk their way into it. And that's what this brother was trying to do yesterday. He was like, I was like, first I was just like, I'm not in your peer group. And then I always wait to see what they say. Cause I do have a little ego. My ego is like, I'm fascinated by people thinking that I'm in their peer group when I'm not. That's fascinating to me. So, but he didn't even go there. He wasn't trying to flatter my ego in that manner. He was just like, oh, I'm not, okay, well, what peer group is that? And and I was like, the infinite group. And then he was like, okay, well, and then I was like, we're not on the same page. Because I just wanted to get him out of thinking that he was about to solicit me then and there for a partnership or even prospective partnership. I wanted to get his mind on another page because we weren't on the same page. We weren't going in the same direction. So I needed to get him into a different stream of thoughts. I was like, we're not on the same page. He was like, we talking. We can talk about it. We can talk. So this brother was under the impression that he could talk his way into a page. No, 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 no. You can't talk your way into a page. It's actions, it's activity, it's daily life. That's how you can be on a page that is the same page as another brother or a sister. It's not something that you can talk into. And I think that is what he learned, hopefully. Anybody that needs that lesson, because being who you are, there's nothing to prove. It's just who you are. And then that brings me to another point. When somebody, because he kept mentioning how he was fucked up, and I was like, that's a negative affirmation. And I've been there. So like I'm not even coming at him like that. Like I'm like up there and I wasn't talking down. I was just basically saying, hey, I strive not to entertain negative thoughts about self because it's counterproductive. You have to start saying that you're healing. And it's true. When somebody is trying to really grow and transcend, they can't continuously say that they're fucked up, and they can't continuously do actions that are fucked up. They can't continuously keep that cycle going. They have to actually start saying that they're healing and then do actions that support the healing. And somebody that has been focused on their pain and their trauma consistently to the point where they're just doing drugs consistently and drinking alcohol consistently, well, what they're going to share, what they're going to exchange with their partner is going to be in that vibration. And for somebody that's been on their elevation journey, that's just going to be pollution. Because they're going to share what they've been existing in. So if their existence has just been about their vibration of pain and unhappiness and trauma and not knowing how to heal and transcend and release that, well, shit, they want to go release it up in a clean ass garden. They just want to go unload it. And no, go do a meditation, fast, pray. Basically, people are not really conscious of what they're doing sometimes, but nevertheless, whatever they've been existing in, then that's what they're going to bring to the table. And for somebody that's been working on themselves, practicing self-love on the self-love journey, that's just counterproductive. It's regressive and it could be a major setback, like a dissension. Somebody can be ascending and then get with somebody who's pretending And then they start descending because all that person shared was dissension. And that is bad because I've been there and I've experienced it. And I had to start over because that's what happens to somebody when they allow somebody to just come in with all of their non self loving activity and behavior. They share all that, and then the person has to love themselves, clean themselves, clear all that away, and heal themselves. I don't recommend anybody put themselves through that. That's not self love. You have to love yourself above all. So that means no misalignment. No people that are just talkers, like, yeah, goddess, yeah, you the one, you the one. Like, he must have said that shit like 50 times. Like, God bless his heart. I'm not even trying to be stupid. It's just, we have to be in alignment with ourselves. This is a message for the single people. You have to be in alignment with yourself so that you can align with who you're supposed to be in, who you're supposed to be with. That's what my reflection song is about. Because, and if you haven't heard it, then go find it on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, or YouTube under Wah Empress My Infinite, and the song is Reflection. But that's what it's about, knowing that since you exist, this other beautiful divine reflection of the Most High God exists. It's just nature and it's natural. It's mathematical. It makes sense. It's counterproductive for people to be thinking that somebody doesn't exist, like thinking that everyone is bad or the circumference of their bad experiences just in rotation and just kind of like summing up all of humanity to be this one way. And it's like, okay, so like, you just the only good person in the world, stop it. That don't even make any sense. There's many beautiful, good, divine people. You just have to create that space in self and align with it all around you. And that's basically what I've been learning. That's my self-love lesson. Part of my coursework I'm humbly sharing with humanity. Hopefully it's helpful, but definitely prerequisites for dating. The person has to be in alignment. They have to be in the practice of self-love. I'm cold. Wait, that's not good law of attraction. I'm hot. I'm being silly, but I'd adjust myself. So it's important for the person to be practicing self-love consistently to the point where you guys can understand, overstand, universally stand each other and continue to grow together. Because if there's misalignment, if one person's growing and the other person wants to be on that level, there are some people that will just pretend because they want the energy. Those are really the worst ones to even like entertain. Like, just don't even give them no, just let them go, let them grow. Because if they're pretending that they want to elevate just because they love to receive energy, don't let them get yours. And so for those individuals that really do want to grow and be better and change and heal, wishing them all the love and healing that the universe has for them, that the Most High has for them. But that doesn't have to come from you or me in a way that's detrimental for us. So if we're in alignment with ourselves and our self-healing journey, it can be detrimental to take on somebody that has not taken the time to heal themselves, that has not been consistent in their healing, because it's work. And even though it might be easy or easier for somebody that's in their groove and they like just feeling like, yeah, sure, come on, let's go, let's roll. But for somebody that is used to not doing the work, not being disciplined, they have not disciplined themselves. They're just used to succumbing to the energy, submitting to their lower self, submitting to the lower vibration. That will be very difficult for them. It's like they'll be fighting, trying to fight all their demons, all their lower self energy in the name of love for somebody else, not even their self. So I think that's where after a while they can get tad, just like worn out, even if they're sincere. If I'm not talking about pretenders. If they're sincere and that's what they really want to do, I think it can become taxing for them after a while, because it's not coming from a space of self-love for self, doing it for somebody else, and it's difficult because they haven't been doing it. I know I'm repeating it, but it's vital. I've seen people mess up years of their life, karma, because they decided to entertain the energy of a pretender and or another contender that was not consistent in their inner work, therefore missing the discipline of self-love. And that's challenging when you could just stay in alignment with yourself. Self-love is choosing yourself, choosing alignment with yourself, and allowing that to align you with someone who is in an alignment with their self, in an alignment of self-love, not in an alignment of self-hate and distraction and chaos. Because all that does is just destroy everything that the person has built for their body, mind, and spirit. Speaking from experience, nobody is important enough to destroy you or what you've done to heal yourself. So therefore, if they're not in alignment, and that means they have the potential to cause destruction, and you have to choose yourself. And just, wishing you lots of love and healing and elevation, because that's all you can do is just be a platonic support if possible. Because some people you might just have to hold in space, prayer from a distance, because there's no alignment for platonic connection. And that means they're being held by the collective universe, the Most High God, and whoever else that they can attract to support them that can be in alignment with their energetic. So I wanted to talk about that because it's really, really important. You want to stay in alignment with yourself. That's a part of self-love. And it will help you with your goal of attracting the partner that is meant for you, aligning with that special person that is doing the work that you're doing, that is loving themselves the way that you're loving yourself and healing the way that you're healing. No reason to get with somebody or to date with to date someone who is not practicing self-love and not healing themselves. There's no reason. It's counterproductive. Let them do the work on themselves, and that's what they're going to do. But somebody's saying that they're going to do it because they want to be with somebody. That person is already lacking self-love. That's why they're not doing it for themselves, and they have to do it for themselves before they can do it for somebody else, with somebody else. It has to be done for self-love. If they don't love themselves, then they can't give love. They can't share love because they haven't been cultivating it. They're just going to be able to share what they've been cultivating, which is a lot of times trauma, pain, chaos. And I know you don't want to put that in yourself, my single, lovely people. So hold the space. Hold it down for yourself because you love yourself. And stay in alignment with yourself. You already know when there's no alignment, somebody can't talk their way into it. Now, in the younger years of my journey, I did allow a couple people to talk their way. But as I talk about in my self-love song, then I had to learn how to get out of their crisis. Because when you accept someone into your life who is not healing and growing in their healing, then it's just like, it's just nature. It's like, it's just bound to happen. Like, if you haven't heard the song, you should listen to it. It's cool. It's just one of my artistic expressions of my self-love journey. But as I mentioned in the song, I had to get out of their crisis. So when you accept someone into you that is not on the same journey, not in alignment, not practicing healing, not practicing self-love, unfortunately, people that do that become a part of that person's chaos. They become a part of that person's trauma. They become a part of that person's crisis. Their trauma and drama. So it's critical to have self-love be a prerequisite for dating. Does this person love themselves? Is this person practicing self-love? Is this person consistent in their practice of self-love? How long have they been on this self-love practice? And do they do anything that is counterproductive to that? And if they do anything that's counterproductive to that, what are they doing to remedy that? And how often do they work at remedying it? This is all important prerequisite data that must be known before you date someone, before they become a prospective partner, candidate. It's important. Somebody talking about they just started yesterday because they seen you. No. Somebody talking about because they seen you, all of a sudden they just have to do it because it's you. In my opinion, no. I haven't seen that to be fruitful. or beneficial. Because like I said, it's hard for somebody to do something for somebody else that they haven't done for themselves because they love themselves. And then it's just like a challenge. If it's a challenge for them to do it for themselves, it's going to be even more of a challenge for them to do it for somebody else. That's just basically like what I've collected from my experience. And hopefully it makes sense. My dating people, my people in the market for dating, people in the single self-love journey, be patient with yourself and do not give a joker a chance. Ooh, but some of them really be jokers though. Let me see, have I ever been a joker? Not relationship wise, no. Mm-mm. No. When I say I'm gonna do something when it comes to like partnership, it's 100. You talking about wow. It's like just that right there, that first part of the name. But seriously though, it's just I've been a joker in reference to some other things I'm not gonna talk about, but not relationship wise, partnership wise. Nah. Mm-mm. But that's okay. Everybody has their flaws. My flaw was in another category that really came after those situations. It was like a part of my karmic pollution. So, anyways, I didn't want to throw shade without looking at my own shade. You know? You be throwing shade and not acknowledge your own shade. Anyways, beautiful people, be patient with yourself and date yourself. There's a song that I came up with, and it's called Sing a Love Song. The first version, I was like, it's sing a love song to yourself. But basically, like, yes, date yourself, love yourself, get into more deeper alignment with yourself. And anybody that comes with any solicitation that you know is not in alignment, then just bid them so much love and peace and healing on their journey, because they can't come on your journey on that level because it's not in alignment and it's counterproductive, and it could be very just uproot all the work that you've done on your healing. And I know that's not what you want to do. And I know that some of you out there in these spiritual streets can relate. I know I'm not the only one. I've seen some people, choose a regressive person, somebody that was just out of alignment, and then it just like, then they got some more things that they got to heal. We already healing. So to get with somebody that's going to cause more trauma and more healing, no, that's not self-love. So I think I've just kind of like ran this topic as far as I could go. If there's something that you think I've missed, leave it in the comments. And if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe and share this video. Singing is fun. A part of the self-love journey is you have to express yourself and date yourself. That's a part of dating yourself, is expressing yourself. And yeah. So the self-love journey, the work. I was going to go into a whole nother topic, but that's going to be another video. In the next video, I'm going to discuss something else that has been coming into basically somebody sent me a message saying that they thought that I was ready for partnership. It wasn't somebody soliciting me. It was a basically, someone who likes to help others and things like that. And I was like, everything was great in the email until I got to that part because I wasn't expecting that. But that's another video that I want to talk about because a lot of single people get really, really comfortable with being by themselves and they just almost like are not even holding space for partnership. It's like they don't want it sometimes, or they just get so comfortable with not being in that space that they kind of just put it off into the future, like as a future thing, and not holding space for being in the present. So that's what the future video is going to be about. So I'm excited to talk about it because it's something that I've been experiencing and I just kind of like will put it in the back of my head. But to see that message the other day, I was like, like, but I'm one of those people to where I was holding space for it in the future. Like, yeah, in the future. When I have this, and this done. So, anyways, the next topic, when to know if you are ready to date or be in a partnership and that whole process. That's going to be another discussion. Hopefully, this information has been beneficial to my single people out there in the universe. And like I said, choose self-love, alignment with yourself, your intuition. You know what's not right for you. You know if somebody's not in alignment because they're doing things that you don't do, things that you've outgrown, or things that you've never even done. Sometimes, some of them. So it's like, gotta be in alignment with your self-love so that you don't waste no time or set yourself back and you get into your mastery and your alignment with who you're supposed to be with. And that's all I'm gonna say. It's been said. Peace and love, everyone. Wishing everyone lots of self-love and healing. Thank you so much for watching and have a beautiful day.